What did God command Moses to do in Numbers 26? This is the question that we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of Numbers on Walking Through the Bible. If you have a Bible with you, turn to Numbers 26. We're going to be reading from verses 1 to 4. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So, Numbers 26, beginning at verse 1. And it came to pass after the plague that the Lord spoke to Moses and Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, saying, Take a census of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and above by their fathers' houses, all who are able to go to war. So Moses and Eleazar the priest spoke with them in the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho, saying, Take a census of the people from 20 years old and above, just as the Lord commanded Moses and the children of Israel who came out of the land of Egypt. The children of Israel are in the plains of Moab across from Jericho. We're nearing the time when they would cross the Jordan and attack Jericho and take the promised land. However, that won't happen until the book of Joshua. What we have in the rest of Numbers and in the book of Deuteronomy are the final weeks and months before that event takes place. In the last chapter, we had the children of Israel committing harlotry with some of the women of Moab and serving their gods. God was so angry with them that he sent a plague among them, and 24,000 people died. It was only stopped because of the actions of Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the high priest, who killed Zimri, a leader in the house of Simeon, who presented a Midianite woman before Moses and the people at the tabernacle. If it weren't for the actions of Phinehas, who knows how many more people would have died. It is stories like these that lead people to believe that the God of the Old Testament was an angry, vindictive God, while the God of the New Testament is a kind, gracious God. The fact of the matter is, the God of the Old Testament is the God of the New Testament. God had warned Israel not to go and serve other gods. He was explicit, for in Exodus 20, verses 1 to 6, this is what Moses wrote. And God spoke all these words, saying, I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands, to those who love me and keep my commandments. In that passage, God said that he was a God of justice, but he was also a God of mercy. Which side Israel saw of him was dependent upon their actions. If they loved God and kept his commandments, then he would show them mercy. However, if they went after other gods and disobeyed his commandments, he would take vengeance upon them, which was the just thing to do. Israel then in Numbers 25 wasn't being treated unfairly. They were being treated just as God told them he would treat them if they served other gods. For Christians today, there are numerous passages in the New Testament that would tell us that God is a God of grace and a God of justice. But we haven't studied many of these verses thus far in this podcast, so we'll stick to the ones we have studied. In Matthew 25, verses 31 to 46, this is what Jesus said. When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. And all nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats. And he will set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right hand, Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Then the righteous will answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or naked and clothe you? Or when did we see you sick or in prison and come to you? And the king will answer and say to them, Assuredly I say to you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these my brethren, you did it to me. Then he will also say to those on the left hand, Depart from me, you cursed, into the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you did not take me in. Naked, and you did not clothe me. Sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. Then they will also answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison, and did not minister to you? Then he will answer them, saying, Assuredly I say to you, inasmuch as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me. And these will go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. Just like in the Old Testament, grace will be extended to those who obey God in faith, but vengeance will be meted out upon those who do not. This should be a warning to us that we need to follow Jesus. What we're going to see in chapter 26 then is the second census of Israel. It occurred after Aaron died because Eleazar will be helping perform it, but it will take place before the conquest. Like with the first, it would be a census for the purpose of knowing how many men of war there were. Thus, only men over the age of 20 that were able to go to war were counted. The number we need to remember is 603,500. That is the number of men of war before the period of wilderness wandering. How would this number change with this census? We'll find out, the Lord willing, in the next few episodes. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Numbers chapter 26, verses 5 to 18, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.